Since the creation of the United Nations, we've taken human rights as a given.
They've been instrumental in the creation of functioning democracies, in driving social development, and in domestic and international affairs.
As societal and global issues evolve, so do our human rights.
What began originally as civil and political rights, such as freedom of expression, has grown now to include social and economic rights. Increasingly now, there are also international rights. Right to adequate housing, right to a standard of living.
And now we're applying data and privacy rights to protect us online. So when we talk about racial, sexual, and economic inequality, we're talking about breaches of domestic and international law.
Even today, as climate change is threatening livelihoods and standards of living, we're having to reinterpret and extend our notions of human rights to address these issues today.
Human rights are not policies that can be overturned. They're not granted to us by governments. They belong to us as human beings.
For the most part, states are meeting their commitments to defend and protect universal human rights. But increasingly, some governments are beginning to shy away from those obligations. And some of them are even actively seeking to subvert human rights, both domestically and even internationally.
And in recent years, the regional and international bodies that were created and charged with defending these rights have been challenged by the rise of new powers and political movements. Some states are arguing that emergencies such as the COVID-19 pandemic and economic inequality should be their priority.
But it's precisely those pressures that make human rights so important. Only by protecting and defending human rights can we ensure an equitable response in humanitarian crises and address issues of economic inequality.
The benefits and protections that human rights provide are only as good as governments' willingness to uphold them.
If we want a world where human rights are protected, we need to understand those rights and the obligations of governments and private companies to protect and promote those rights.
We need to apply pressure to access our own rights domestically and to ensure the rights of other citizens are protected globally by the actions of our own governments and international bodies.
We're all beneficiaries of the global human rights system, so that in turn means we're all responsible for protecting and defending it.